Same person, different font? We could argue that these two have moved pretty similar in the villa with their openness to explore multiple connections at the same time. But that doesn't mean that they were malicious in their intent, but maybe they were just doing the Love Island experience the way it should have been done by more than just them. Not excusing behavior because there were some moments that did not have to happen. And I think what we can take from all this is honesty. So initially, Kenzie wasn't chosen by Zach. And I think that took a couple of chips at her ego. And I think it was hard for her to figure out who her actual connection was. And if we're being honest, to this day, after movie night, all that, I think she still hasn't found her true connection. But I think she is settling for Dylan. But if we look back at everyone who she's tried to connect with, she was really open to the experience. She got a chance to date different guys in the villa. Essentially, that's what they're doing, right? But I think where the problem came in is she made the guys feel like, I really like you a lot. And like, I'm feeling like our connection is growing stronger. And I think it's going to be you. And then she'll turn around and go talk to someone else. And when you make like a deep connection with someone and you reassure them and make them feel like, okay, like she's going to pick me, and you pick someone else, that is such a like slap in the face. And I don't think she was aware of the way she was moving. That whole kiss is like a handshake thing. I didn't take it like literal. I feel like she was trying to say, I need to kiss to see if there's chemistry there, which I think she did with Gall, and that's the reason why she didn't like him moving forward. For me, the issue with Sincere wasn't that he was exploring, because I feel like Love Island is where you're supposed to do that. Like, that's the whole point of being on the show. But I think the issue was that he was telling all the girls the same thing. And so we were watching, let's say, three different connections grow, right? But he was telling them the same thing. So we saw Sincere and three different connections, and it just looked like the girl was changing. Nothing about like the way he talked to each one was different, or the things he was promising them, except for maybe Melanie, because she's from the East Coast and they were talking about what they're going to do like when they get out. But other than that, all this like it was going to be you, or you're the one, and the way he was like staring deep into Soul's eyes, like it was very much given like, you're mine, I'm with you. And I think there was no boundary of like, hey, I like you, but like I'm still seeing where this goes, like I'm still talking to such and such, such and such and such. Like that's the problem. It wasn't this open communication so everyone knew what was going on. Because if that's what it was, that's exactly how Love Island should be going. And that's where it gets interesting, right? Because for me, I think that's what Kenzie was doing. I think she was telling these guys, like, hey, I'm still talking to such and such. So I like you, but like, I'm going to go chat to, whatever. You can't make up your mind. It looks greedy. Like you're trying to have everybody for yourself. So if Kenzie would have just talked to whoever she wanted to talk to and then went on and made up her decision and stuck with it, this would be a different subject, which I guess she kind of did, right? With Corbin, but then he got taken from her. So then she's back to square one, right? Like, I know y'all gonna be like, she's a Kenzie defender. I'm just looking at all sides of the coin. And as far as Sincere, I think he said it, like he was pouring his whole self into the experience with each different girl, but it was giving too much and these girls were falling. Like there had to be some level of like, I'm just gonna get to know you. Like we're not gonna kiss all the time. I'm not gonna act like you're my girlfriend. He was giving them like boyfriend treatment, like all of them. And I think that's why things were the way they were. And I think if you would have told Melanie that like, I'm very much open, like I really like you, but I want to make sure that we have the right connection. I want to make sure that I'm here for the right reasons, blah, 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 blah. Then I think Melanie would have understood, or would have softened the blow, or she would have chose to explore other people or maybe recouple with someone else. So this wouldn't have been so bad. And if they made their way back to each other, then great. But I think he also was being selfish and didn't want to lose her. And that's why they look greedy. What looks bad for the both of them is that it looks like they were just being greedy. Because if they would have been really open and transparent with everyone who they were connecting with, they would have been able to choose the right connection for them. And when it comes to Sincere wasn't really exploring two women at the same time. It was like he gave one woman his undivided attention at each time. And that's where it was like, okay, it's like the same thing with her. With Kenzie, she was talking to these guys and letting them know what was up, but she wasn't completely like open enough. And I think what really got Kenzie was she could not make up her mind. So it looked like she was playing with people.